Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Baltany S3043 Retro Diver. So I received this watch for free from the Octopus Kraken official store on AliExpress. I don't have to send the watch back, but you guys know the deal by now. That's not going to sway my review one way or another. You guys are always going to get my honest opinion on a watch on this channel. And if by the end of this review you find yourself wanting to pick one of these up, I'll be leaving a link down in the video description. That is an affiliate link to the AliExpress official store. If you guys are not comfortable with the AliExpress, I'll also leave the official Baltany website down below. So yeah, if you guys do use the AliExpress link, that is an affiliate link. You don't pay any extra. They actually have some coupons going on right now, so snip those before you buy. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. You guys don't pay any extra, but I get a little bit of commission, and then that keeps the channel going. So yeah, I really do appreciate when you use those AliExpress links. The current retail price for this watch is $149 US, as you see it here. On the bracelet, it is $195 US. That's before any taxes or sales or coupons. There is a sale starting August 21st, so just a few days away, and it runs through the 27th, where you can probably get a little bit of a discount on this watch. As you can see here, this watch is available in both black and blue, and I think they both look really, really good. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal, screw-down crown, screw-down case back, 200 meters of claimed water resistance. This one comes with an aluminum bezel insert, and the watch is powered by the Seiko NH38 automatic movement. So I've been looking for that perfect retro diver for a while now, and I have to say Baltany has gotten really close with this one. There's probably two things that I would change on it. Otherwise, I think it's near perfect, for me at least. So I say we get into this full review, but before we do a quick wrist check. Wearing another Baltany today that just arrived a couple days ago. This is the S202049 model. Yeah, automatic and 39 millimeters, I believe. Really a nice one. And this will be coming up on the channel very soon. I will be leaving a link for this one as well in the video description. So yeah, go check that out. All right, so let's get into the dimensions. A bezel diameter right at 40 millimeters, case thickness of 13.7 millimeters, and a standard 20 millimeter lug width, a lug tip to lug tip of 47.2 millimeters, and on the supplied leather strap, it weighs about 85 grams. So I think the size is just about spot on. You know, that 40 millimeter case, 47 lug to lug. The thickness is one of my, I guess, sticking points. They could have trimmed this down just a little bit. It does have a top hat crystal, which we'll talk about in a second, but it doesn't stick up that high. So that is a pretty chunky side profile there. That's my only real gripe with the case. Other than that, though, I like the way it wears. It's got the thin lugs and it's got the small crown guards. I think it looks great, so I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist. I'm not going to worry about showing it on the stock strap right now. But yeah, this just gives you an idea of how it's going to wear. It wears pretty good. It's kind of your typical vintage size. Maybe a little bit thick, a little bit slab-sided, but that's really my only complaint with it. It's very comfortable, and on this Riche rubber strap, I think it looks pretty good. As you can see there, a little bit of curve down to the lugs as well. And yeah, overall, it's very comfortable, and you know, it just works well in my opinion. And popping into some direct sunlight there, you can see the dial actually has a little bit of a sheen to it, or a shimmer to it, so it's pretty nicely done in my opinion. It's very cool, and definitely that matte bezel, that aluminum matte bezel insert just looks amazing. So really happy with the way this thing looks out in the sunlight. All right, let's go throw this on some other straps and we'll get back to it. And a fan favorite is the suede strap. This is a camel colorway. I'll leave the link down below. And again, no surprise here. I think this looks pretty cool. You know, leather on divers isn't for everybody, but I sure like them. And here we are on another leather. This one is suede and gray. I think it goes pretty well with that blue dial. I think it looks really, really good. And you can purchase the strap as well. I'll leave a link down below. This is from Merker, so and it's actually a really nice strap. And here we are on a lightweight and breathable Perlon strap. These ones will be linked down below as well. These are perfect for hot summer days like today in Florida. Just very breathable. I like the extra texture on it, and I think the gray, it's kind of like a bluish gray almost now that I look at it. I think it looks really good on this watch. What do you guys think of that one? And lastly, here we are on a nylon strap. This is a rib nylon. Usually I point people in the direction of CNS watch bands. This one is actually lifted off of a Bernie. So yeah, it does look pretty good though. And let's talk about the case finishing on this thing. And case finishing is done very nicely as usual with Baltany. You have an angular or circular brushing on the tops of the lugs here, as you can see, really nicely done. I mean, very satisfied with the kind of consistency all across the brushing here. Flipping it to the case sides here, you got a nice high polished side there. Again, really nicely done. Sharp transitions as well. Everything is done very nicely. Flipping it to the crown side, you do have an unsigned crown. Baltany has a pretty cool logo, and I need to somehow convince them to slap it on the crown. Just this big crown here looks really empty with nothing on it. Throw their cool logo on there. I think everyone would be appreciative of that. But otherwise, really nicely done. It's those kind of small crown guards that are fully polished. That crown sets in there really nicely, but still easy to access. I'm very satisfied with the case on this thing. Flipping it to the case back here, you can see your typical coin edge style case for this style of watch. Not a fan of these, never will be, never have been. So I would appreciate just simple notches in there, but this is the hand we're dealt. It's a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. It's done really nicely. It's very smooth. Got no issues with that. Circular brushing on the bottom of the lugs there. This bottom edge here is a little bit sharp. I wish they would kind of hone that down just a little bit. It hasn't really been uncomfortable for me on wrist, but it is something that I notice when I pick it up and hold it in my hand. So yeah, just something to be aware of. All right, so let's talk about the bezel on this thing. And the bezel is done pretty nicely. This is another issue that I have with the watch. The alignment is a little bit off. It looks a lot worse here. The alignment is about right there in person, so it's just a hair off. So not enough to really bother me too much, but it is an aluminum bezel insert, which I absolutely love. And they just nailed the color on this thing. It's kind of like a muted blue. It just looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. You do have a loomed pip at the 12 o'clock. That's the only part that is loomed, and I think it looks pretty good. It's nicely centered as well. Yeah, I just really like the aluminum bezel insert. That's one thing a lot of companies get wrong. They want to slap a ceramic insert on it because it's the new hotness and stuff, but this just looks so much better in my opinion, and it just fits the aesthetic of the watch a lot better. So thank you, Baltany, for using an aluminum insert. The bezel itself, it's stainless steel. It's a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. Again, really nicely done. Those scallops are kind of polished, and then the top edge is a circular brushing. Really nice, lots and lots of grip. It is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. I don't even know if you guys can hear it or not. It's a very quiet bezel, and it's very easy to turn. So that's my main gripe with it. It's just too easy to turn. I've knocked it many times. So yeah, that's just, they need to tighten that up just a little bit. Other than that though, the grip is fine. The back play is minimal. There's just a teeny tiny bit of play in it, as you can see there. There's no bounce or wobble or anything like that, but it's just way too easy to turn. That's my main issue with it. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. All right, let's talk about the crystal on this thing. We will test it for sapphire first. It is positive for sapphire, as you saw, and it's again a super nice crystal from Baltany. It is a boxed double dome, so you got lots of distortion on the edges, but none in the middle there. It's super clear. Yeah, they got lots and lots of anti-reflective coating on it. It's a clear AR, so there's no distracting blue tint to it or anything. It's just an excellent crystal. They continue to put out some of the best crystals from AliExpress. Yeah, it's great. I've got zero complaints with it, and I think it looks really, really good. There you can see kind of the side profile of it. Sticks up just a little bit from the bezel insert, but man, does it look good. Looks really, really good. Very happy with the crystal on this thing. All right, so let's talk about the dial on this thing, and the dial is done really nicely. It is a matte blue dial. There's no sunburst. There's no gloss. It is just the perfect shade of blue for me. It just looks so good. Very happy with it. You have a white printed minute track around the outside, just a brushed stainless steel rehow as well. Yeah, it just looks great. I got no complaints with it. It's a fully printed dial, so you do have your faux patina for all the hour markers there. And then simple Baltany text at the 12 o'clock position, automatic 600 feet, 200 meters down below the pinion. Yeah, it just looks really good. The handset that they chose on this thing, it's a little bit off of tradition, but I think it looks really good. It's kind of an oversized Mercedes hand right there for the hour, and then this kind of flared out minute hand. Yeah, it's different. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but they're growing on me. It's something just a little bit different. And I think it makes it stand out a little bit better, and definitely having them big and bold like that, they're nice and easy to pick up. So yeah, really happy with that. Just your traditional lollipop second hand, reaching right out to the minute track there. Everything is perfectly proportional on this dial. I love it. The lume on this thing was kind of surprising to me. It's actually pretty good. So I'm going to pop up a lume shot right now. And typically with this faux patina lume and a printed dial, they don't last that long. But as you can see here, against some of the other watches in the collection, it actually hangs on pretty good. I'm quite impressed with the watch. And yeah, it just surprised me that it was this good. So I think you guys are going to be pretty satisfied with the lume on this watch. All right, so let's talk about the movement in this thing. So the movement is the Seiko NH38. This is how mine has been running. It's been running great, 4 seconds a day with a strong beat error. I'm very happy with the movement and the performance on this thing. And it is the NH38, so there's no ghost date position. The movement is operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown here. Nice and big and grippy, nice and smooth action as well. Solid pop out. And then this first position is your hand winding, nice and smooth. Second position jumps right into hacking the movement, and this is where you're set at the time. Everything functions as it should. You kind of come to expect that from the NH38. It's a very reliable and robust movement. 21,600 beats per hour. It hacks, the hand winds, 40 hours of power reserve. It does everything you need it to do. It's cheap to replace if it does break, and it's easy to service and work on. I've done it, and I'm an amateur, so yeah, I think you're going to be very happy with the NH38 in this watch. I'm glad they used the NH38. A lot of companies skimp out and do the NH35 and just keep the no date position in there, and that's just kind of annoying. So this is just, it feels a little bit more premium and more well put together than something else. So yeah, very appreciative, and I like the fact that this one is running very strong. Screw in and screw out action is just buttery smooth on this watch. Zero complaints. All right, so let's talk about the strap on this thing. So the strap that's included here, like I mentioned, you can get this on the bracelet. I'm going to leave a link up here for my previous Baltany review of the exploring style watch. I believe the bracelet is going to be exactly the same as this. It looks the same in the pictures, so go check out the bracelet section of this review and you can see it. It's a polished center link. That's really my big complaint with it, and the clasp was okay. Other than that, though, it felt like a pretty nice bracelet. So, yeah, just something to note. But for $40, I don't know if I would buy it on that bracelet. I would probably just throw it on a strap. But the strap that is included here, it is 20 millimeters. It tapers down to 18 millimeters at the buckle here. It's just a simple stainless steel buckle, fully brushed there. It's a solid buckle. It's not flopping around or anything. You get one stationary keeper, one floating keeper, simple stitching, no quick release. It is Baltany branded on the underside here. Genuine leather on this side here. I'm kind of in the middle, so it's a good length for me. And the strap is not terrible. It's just not a great strap. You're probably going to want to replace it. It's not so bad that I'm going to want to, immediately throw this strap in the trash. But it's just something that, like this watch here, it just deserves to be on a nicer strap. So just something to keep in mind. You got to make the decision if you want a kind of a throwaway strap, or if you want a bracelet that's just okay for about $40. So, something to think about for you guys. Those are your options. Unfortunately, neither one of them is perfect, but they're both very serviceable. So there you go, guys. That is the Baltany S3043 Retro Diver. I think it is so close to being the perfect dive watch for me. It is that kind of thin case, small crown guards, NH38, beautiful sapphire crystal, aluminum bezel insert, printed dial, the perfect shade of blue in my opinion. And I think they almost nailed this thing. They need to tighten up the bezel on this thing, and then if they could just slim down that mid case just a little bit, that would make this thing perfect for me. As it is, it's really nice. I'm going to keep it in the collection. I love wearing this thing. Yeah, it just looks so nice. So I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.